Afternoon. I'm Ben Bradley.
And I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you for joining us. 6 people are confirmed dead at this point. 5 of them died at the scene. They were all adults.
We don't know the age of the person who died at the hospital, but we can tell you paramedics took at least 1 child to the hospital in critical condition. In all, 24 people are injured. We do have team of reporters out there covering what happened today. Let's begin with WGN's Julian Cruz.
Well, hey guys, the Lake County coroner releasing new details on the 6 individuals who are confirmed deceased and the close to 24 wounded in this terrible 4th of July shooting.
On scene, we transported 10 to Highland Park Hospital, 6 to Lake Forest Hospital, and then 7 to Evanston Hospital.
Lake County, Illinois firefighters and paramedics faced with the grim task of describing the injured and the deceased. Of the 6 confirmed dead, no children reported, though at least 1 was among the nearly 24 who was injured and rushed to an area hospital in critical condition, we are told. So sad to see. There were a number of wounded patients who were driven to area hospitals for treatment, so that confirmed number of just shy of 24, that number, as we've seen already throughout the afternoon, has swelled larger. But right now, 24 confirmed injured. For those on the ground watching this beautiful 4th of July parade, it was a terribly traumatic experience.
And then that's when I grabbed my son and I ran around the corner and I put him in a dumpster, a garbage dumpster, and I asked some people to stay there with him because I had to go back to find the rest of my family.
Yeah, she was scared because, she didn't know what was going on, but I was trying to keep her calm and telling her everything's going to be okay, that she just has to follow mommy, and I'm going to take her to a safe location.
And that was Amarina Garcia talking about this terrible ordeal and the impact that it has already had on her daughter. And so many families here traumatized by the very sad incident that has occurred here on a beautiful 4th of July morning. It all started about 10:14 a.m. and police are not providing a lot of details in regard to the investigation. However, they are telling people that if you're in that lockdown area directly adjacent to where this incident took place at Central near Green Bay, that you don't have to be in shelter in place anymore. The authorities here, police chief here in Highland Park, saying that those people can come out now, but remain cautious because they are still looking for the gunman responsible for this terrible incident. He was described earlier as a white male, somewhere between the ages 18 and 20. Long black hair, very slender build. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Julian.
And police say that they are combing through a very large crime scene this afternoon.
There is the immediate area where that shooting took place, then many more blocks of evidence that was spread out as people ran for cover. Sean Lewis live at the scene with more on the chaos that ensued after the shots were fired. Sean?
Yeah, Ben, Lourdes, as you can imagine, quite chaotic at this scene here earlier today. Now 7 hours since this shooting happened, a massive number of law enforcement officers from federal to local agencies, all of them looking for that young man who's believed to be the gunman, no older than 20 years old, shooting on this crowd from the roof. Can take a closer look at that cream-colored building there. That is where police say that young man got up onto the roof from an unsecured ladder attached to the building and took aim at the crowd below. That crowd made up of grandparents and parents and children, all of them here to see the 4th of July parade. Imagine if you've been to a parade, you know how noisy it can be. You have first responders here with their sirens going who are in the parade. You have a high school band, and you have children yelling and just enjoying themselves. All of that led to some confusion when these shots were fired. A lot of people who were here thought that they heard fireworks and not gunshots. It was only until they saw people starting to run, and when they ran, they left everything behind. This is probably the eeriest part of what we're seeing right now. You just have a number of chairs left behind, children's chairs. You have children's here. Several of the people we talked with today were here and just escaped, fearing for their lives. Let's take a listen to that.
We're here with our family, kids, 2 kids, my wife. We're a whole group right here. We come here every year. Obviously it's sad that someone would do something like this. Such a great, everyone's celebrating, coming together, and unfortunately that's not what happened today.
I heard like 30 gunshots, and then everybody started running to the store. I was helping everybody get in. There was a woman that fell. She got up, and then I helped her in the store. I gave her some bandages and everything, you know.
That's scary.
I mean, everywhere is going to be violence, you know. It's crazy.
Now, again, we just saw some members of SWAT. And we're not sure which SWAT it is because we have several different agencies, including state SWAT here on the scene. You can see them running across the street here again right now. They have secured this area for a long time, and they've been looking for this gunman now for the last 7 hours, and still no word or sight of this 18 to 20-year-old young man, slight build with dark, long hair. So we've seen this a number of times, squads and units going from here to there with some urgency as they have been trying to track down where this young man is. We have, again, local agencies from all over the northern suburbs. We have the city of Chicago. We have Cook County. We also have the ATF and the FBI all on this investigation. Of course, we'll bring you an update coming up in the next hour. We'll send it back to you for now.
Sean, I can see you're very close to the scene there, which is rare. Normally they will keep our photographers and reporters pretty far back, and you're right there. Have they given you any sense as to when they may start to clear that area so that people may be able to get through once again?
Yeah, so it's interesting that you bring this up because a lot of folks didn't run away from this scene. They ran into buildings and hunkered down in place, and then they were escorted out. We've seen families with young children being led away from where they were holed up, even in these storefronts along the route here, right at the scene. And throughout the afternoon, you will see these pockets of families, many with young children, some babies being led away, still looking very shaken by what has happened here. As far as when this scene will be cleared, we do not know. They show no signs right now of clearing out at least this 1 block radius of where they have locked down right at where this shooting occurred.
And Sean, when we just saw those officers running with some urgency across the street there, has that been common for the last few hours?
Yeah, you'll see this from time to time. In fact, earlier in our coverage, you might remember that we had some SWAT members going up to a nearby beauty supply store that's right across the street from that sporting goods store where these shots were fired from, and it looked like they were trying to gain entry. Now, we saw that. We also saw them going into a nearby building just across the street from where we are. Like you said, Lourdes, it is unusual not only for the media to be able to be this close to a crime scene, an active shooter, with someone still on loose, but also members of the general public are right here alongside of us who are curious to know what is happening and where this shooter might be.
All right, more to come. Sean Lewis reporting for us today in Highland Park. We will continue to check in with you throughout the afternoon. Sean, thank you.
WGN's Jackie Bang has been at North Shore Highland Park Hospital talking with the injured and their families.
She's live now with more. Jackie.
Well, we haven't been able to talk to some of the family members of the injured. We have noticed, though, in just a couple of hours now that the security is escorting people out to the parking lot. Some of them possibly family members, some of them certainly medical personnel. We're hoping to hear more. They did announce that there will be a press conference at 4:30, which will include doctors and nurses. We got here about 40 minutes after this terrible shooting, and to set the scene, we took photos, and it was upsetting to see so many family members outside in the lawn, including a large group of relatives who were waiting to hear about a man and his wife. We heard that the man was in critical condition. The wife was grazed by a bullet. Shortly after that, though, we were told that they were going to be escorted down in the basement, and there most of them are probably still waiting to to see their relatives or be with their relatives. Now, I was able to talk to a couple of witnesses. One of them was here to check on her niece, who is doing fine. The other said it was the worst day of her life.
I didn't think they were fireworks, but some people did. It sounded like a lot of gunshots. And all of a sudden it went boom, 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 boom. And the shooter was there, the parade's here, and I'm on the sidewalk. And I just looked over and saw people start falling down and grabbing the chairs and everything. And then a little boy next to me said, I think those were gunshot wounds. And I lived this way, I just ran home.
Did you see anybody injured, wounded?
Yeah, there were definitely people injured and wounded. And children were just looking around because the bike parade was before that. It was actually surreal.
But it sounded like fireworks, like those little pop you throw in the ground, those little pop-up ones. That's what it sounded like.
How many shots you heard?
Probably like 30 or 40. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then two ladies that were standing like on my left side actually got shot in their legs, and they were in the store with us. They were wounded. And then like I keep hearing from other people that actually one person got shot in the head that was like right by us. So I mean, we're really blessed that like nothing happened to my family and my niece and my nephew, her newborn baby.
I know that.
Gabriela Martinez was shielding her daughter. She was also shielding a 95-year-old woman who she was able to bring into the store for safety. Now we're going to hear a lot more from doctors and nurses. In about 15 minutes, they not only came from Highland Park Hospital, but victims were taken to Glenbrook Hospital in Glenview and Evanston, North Shore, and another victim was taken to Skokie Orthopedic. So we're hoping to learn more about how the victims are doing, how they're being treated, what type of wounds they're having, coming up hopefully in about 15 minutes. Back to you.